Blast me to Calmer's skull. It's time for the Mad Merlins Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Journey. Issue 71, Part 2. Battle Report. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mad Merlins Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Journey. So we are moving on with issue 71 today, and it's time for a battle report. So before we get into everything, don't forget to, of course, give this video a like, subscribe if you don't already, and why not drop a comment down below. It helps push the channel up a bit, and I love hearing back from all of you guys. So let's dive into 71. There's nothing left to actually see in this issue, as the only page is our battle reports page. So this is War in the Dark, Veteran Mission 11, but page 12, because the pack counts as page 1. So the Imperium are pushing ever deeper into the subterranean layers of the Necrons, and they are encountering vast Cryptek and warrior resistance. So it's a 50 power mission. We are using 2 mats and have 3 objectives. So primary objective is, as usual, take and hold. It'd be quite nice if in some future issues we see some different primary objectives. I know they have sometimes special objectives, but it's not very often we see them. When we select our secondary objectives, we must take the Stasis Bank objective. So this is a progressive objective. Each time we successfully complete the action below, we score 3 points. So 1 unit from the army can perform this action at the end of your movement phase if it's within range of an objective marker and no enemy units are within range of that objective marker. The action is completed at the end of your next command phase, so long as a unit performing it is still within range of the same objective marker. So, yeah, pretty cool mission. So we'll get into that in a minute, but first off, let's take a look at the armies I'm going to be using. I've gone for a pretty thematic army, and we've got a surprise special guest as well. So first off, here's my Imperium army, and it's a single 50 plus power detachment, and as you can see, I've got a mix of Battle Sisters and some Space Marines, all led by our guest appearance special character Inquisitor Greyfax. So yeah, starting at the HQs, we've got Greyfax and a Canoness. That's pretty much it. That's all I felt I wanted for this, as it's going to be, like I said, a pretty thematic mission. Last time I used Greyfax, she didn't get to do much of her special objectives and stuff, but for this mission, I've gone for the narrative that they found a Cryptek laboratory, and she's leading a force to eliminate both of them. So, troops-wise, we got 10 Battle Sisters, 5 Assault Intercessors times 2, and 5 Infiltrators. Fast attack, we've got our Seraphim. Elites, we've got the Aggressors, Arco-Flagellants there, Repentia and the Mistress, and for a heavy, we've got the Penitent Engine. So yeah, like I said, I'm using all the Battle Sister stuff. It's a pity we don't have the Warlord traits properly until technically next issue, so 72. But I would have definitely used the Warlord traits for the Battle Sisters and used the one that gets the additional Miracle Dice. Then I might have been able to use the Miraculous abilities a little more. As it is, I have upgraded her with the Emperor's Grace, so that's the bit more durability on her. And Greyfax is going to be my Warlord because she's an Inquisitor. She takes pretty much, has all authority over an entire battle force. So yeah, pretty cool little force. And like I said, it's themed. There's going to be a little mini narrative within the narrative itself. So yeah, main tactics is, well, Greyfax wants to hunt down and eliminate those Crypteks, especially after she was captured and tortured by one. So yeah, Right, let's take a look at my Necron 50 power list. So here's my 50 plus power detachment for my Necrons, and it's Cryptek heavy. So leading the force, we've got the Chronomancer here, who has the Photonic Transsubjector and the Implacable Conqueror Warlord trait. He's bodyguarded by 2 Crypto Thralls. We also have the Technomancer, 2 squads of 10 warriors, and 1 squad of 5 immortals for my 3 troops. We have the Cryptek Wraiths, Cryptek Spider, Reanimator, Death Marks, and a squad of 6 Scarabs there. So yeah, like I said, for the Greyfax list, this is going to be a nice Fiend army. Basically, the Imperium, sneaking ever deeper into the Necron complex, has found a Cryptek laboratory where a pair of Crypteks are working, and Greyfax is ever keen to eliminate them. So yeah, pretty much the strategic part for this mission is to send the warriors and other Cryptek constructs forward and claim as much of the objectives as possible, whilst keeping the Crypteks alive, so Greyfax can't get to them. But yeah, pretty cool list. Really enjoying using a lot of these Cryptek's constructs, even though they aren't some of my favourite models. But they are slowly growing on me. So, right, let's go set up the battlefield, and I will be right back. So here we are, set up and deployed. I've tried to make it as best I can look like the winding tunnels of a Necron complex. I've even used the mini battle map from issue 1 to represent the Cryptek laboratory there. So yeah, pretty cool. Not going to give it any special rules, just these are ruins. And their footprint is just a triangle, same for all these smaller ones, so it's very limited in the way of cover-giving terrain. These two have larger, more square, more rectangle there, terrain, but yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, Necrons have deployed straight line across the board. So we've got the Spider, Scarabs, Technomancer, Reaper Warriors, Immortals, Reanimator, Technomancer, and his Crypto Thralls, Flayer Warriors, and then the Wraiths over on this side, with the Death Marks in transdimensional location. Other side of the reactor there are the 3 Archoflagellants, just being sent on a suicide mission, pretty much. Squad of Assault Intercessors, Greyfax, Aggressors, Battle Sisters, Penitent Engine, Canoness, Repentia, and the Mistress, and the other 5 Assault Intercessors, plus the Seraphim in Skystrike. I rolled 2 dice to get my Rites of Battle. I got a 2 and a 3. 3 wasn't going to be much benefit, so I swapped it for good old Divine Guidance. So, yeah, here we go then. Necrons have already won the roll-off and have decided to take the first turn. So, before we get into the game, let's have some dramatic reading. War in the Dark. Pressing deeper into the Necron's subterranean lair, Imperial forces continue to locate dormant stasis chambers filled with deactivated Necron warriors. Sabotaging these chambers will strike a blow against the Necrons. The Overlord's active phalanxes and Cryptek constructs have been ordered to protect these facilities in the hope that the Crypteks may restore them to function and raise a new source of troops for the Sautek dynasty. Glorious Restoration. The humans continue to press deeper into Necron territory. Despite their seemingly unsustainable losses, the Overlord's primary concern is the presence within the tomb networks. The ignorant, superstitious humans cannot be permitted to disrupt attempts to restore the tomb complex to life. Targeted destruction. To attempt to understand the inner workings of Xenos technology is folly at best, and heresy at worst. Imperial High Command has instructed its forces within the Necron structure to destroy any archaeotech that may impede the war effort. Imperial forces move to seize and scour as much of the Necron's tomb as possible. So yeah, as I said, I've added the extra bit of narrative that it's Greyfax trying to find and destroy the Crypteks, stop them from reactivating the dormant Necron warriors. So, as I said, Necrons have first turn, so let's get on to Necron turn 1. Necron's movement phase saw the Necrons surging forward. The warriors over there advanced with their Gauls Reapers. They needed a command reroll because they only had 1, but the reroll gave us a 4, which gives them a nice 9-inch advance, giving them up to that pipeline there. And they can actually see about 4 of them can see through the window and spot those infiltrators, so they're going to be getting some shots off, even if it is a -1. Everything else has moved up. The warrior squad in the middle there has started doing the objective. And yeah, on to Necron's shooting phase. So Necron's shooting phase wasn't very productive. The 4 warriors that could see the infiltrators shot, and even though 3 shots got through, the Space Marines managed to save them all. Everything else is sitting ready to do damage though in turn 2, so we're moving on to Imperium turn 1. Okay, end of the Imperium movement phase, and we've just seen everything advance up. Penitent Engine and the Arco-Flagellants have both been really energetic. Arco-Flagellants rolling a 6, and the Penitent Engine rolling a 4. Most of the other units have just moved normally. The aggressors have moved onto the objective and are starting to do the action on the objective. And other than that, Psychic phase, Greyfax isn't in range, so we're moving straight to the shooting phase, and the only thing in range that can do anything is the... Penitent Engine can't do anything because he advanced, so he can't fire. He's heavy weapons, sadly. So it's straight on to Necrons. Turn 2. Okay, end of Necron movement phase, and we've moved the Scarabs and Spider up as far as they can go. The Warriors have moved out a little bit, try and get a few more guys able to see the infiltrators, and the Cryptek with the Cryptek Cloak has followed them. Immortals have moved up on top of the ruin there, and the Warriors are staying still and doing the objective again. In the command phase, Chronometron and Reanimation Beam went on the Warriors there, and we scored 8 points for holding 1 objective and completing the action. So, on to Necron's shooting phase. Oh, and the Wraiths have phased through over here, ready to attack the Assault Intercessors. So, end of the Necron shooting phase, and we've had the Warriors pile their shots into the infiltrators. They managed to ignore the first wound, but lost 1 guy to additional damage. And the Staff of Light from the Cryptek put 1 damage on 1 other guy. So they're still standing strong, even with a morale test at the end of this turn. The Penitent Engine took heavy fire from the Immortals using Relentless Onslaught. Got 2 extra hits, but still missed 1 shot, and did 2 damage, so poor guy. And the Particle Casters from all of the Cryptek Wraiths here didn't do anything as usual against the Assault Intercessors. So on to the charge phase, and we're going to have the Wraiths go into the Assault Intercessors, and that will be about it, I think. So here we go then. And with the end of the Necron turn, the Wraiths have killed and wounded another Assault Intercessor, so they're going to be winning that fight. So the Space Marines are going to have 2 units needing morale tests, but I think they'll be fine regardless, as there's only 1 they're going to be suffering for. But moving on to Imperium turn 2, and we're going to get a little bit closer to those Necrons. End of the movement phase, and we've brought the Seraphim in right over the back corner there, which is the only place they could really get in to do some damage. I used Deadly Descent, shooting the 4 bolt pistols at the warriors and the plasma pistol at the crypto thralls. But the warriors and the crypto thrall managed to pass all of their saves, even the 6+ save from the plasma pistol. So, at the end of the command phase, the Space Marines would have scored themselves 8 points, same as the Necrons, because we scored 1 for objective, so 5 for that, and 3 for completing the action. The Infiltrators have moved out to control the center objective, so hopefully if they're still alive next turn, we can score a few extra points. And the Aggressors are staying on the home objective and doing the action again. So moving on to the Psychic phase and then the shooting phase, and I'll be back after that. So we've had an impressive shooting phase for the Imperium. The Battle Sisters, Greyfax and the Canoness all shot into the Wraiths, killing a total of 2 of them. The last guy got lucky and shrugged off Greyfax's shots with its invuln save. But there's still a charge to come. I might throw the Canoness in there and hope that she can do some damage to him. And maybe even Greyfax, because she's got... it's a makeable charge. I need a 12 because -2 for going over the pipes. But we can try. Canoness shouldn't be too hard. She's got more of a direct line there. And the Pentium engine managed to do nothing with its flamers. The warriors all shrugged off the shots. But the infiltrators behind managed to kill 2. And they took off on the front, so it's going to make the charge for the Pentium engine a little harder. The Arco-Flashments, though, are going to charge straight into those scarabs, not spiders. Spiders behind that. And that will be pretty much it. So, moving on to Imperium's charge and fight phase. Okay, end of the Imperium's turn. And thanks to an extremist trigger word, we managed to wipe out 3 bases of scarabs. Those scarabs did 2 wounds back, and I lost 1 more from extremist trigger word. So there's only the champion of the Arco-Flagellants there, the one with the endurant implants left. Fights elsewhere. The Pentium engine wounded 4, but 2 reanimated on the warriors, and they didn't do anything back to him because he passed his saves. And the Canoness and Greyfax combined their efforts and destroyed the Wraith, with Greyfax doing the killing blow with her power sword. And yeah, really did pretty well. So Greyfax is getting 1 step closer to her vengeance. She just needs to go and find some Crypteks next. So with that, it's now time to move to Necrons, turn 3. Okay, end of the Necrons command phase, and end of movement phase as well, because there's not a lot happening in the movement. The Death Marks have come in 9 inches away from the Imperium units. They really need to come in, or else they're going to be pretty redundant this game. Cryptek and his Crypto Thrall has moved over here just so he gets the chance to buff him for killing whatever's left of the Seraphim. The Technomancer healed a single warrior there out of D3, and the Spider was just in 6 before it moved to heal a base of scarabs. And yeah, moving then on to the Necrons shooting phase. And so we're going to try and eliminate those Seraphim, as they're going to just be annoying otherwise. And those infiltrators are pesky and kind of scoring some extra points for the Imperium. So here we go with Necron's shooting phase. Okay, end of the Necron shooting phase. and combination of the death marks and the crypto thrall have eliminated 3 of the 5 seraphim, so that gives the crypto thrall something to charge at least. The immortals, even with the 4 extra shots they got from Relentless Onslaught, have only managed to kill 2 of the infiltrators. I took the sergeant off as I wanted to keep one guy within 3 inches of that central objective to claim it. Really should have advanced the Repentia last turn, but I kept them back a little too much. So yeah, with that, it's on to the Necron's charge phase. The only charge will be the spider into the Arcoflagellant, though I don't think the poor little guy would have survived regardless. Oh, and I will do the Crypto Thrall and Chronomancer into the Seraphim, hoping that both make it so that they can stay buffed. And the end of the Necron's turn 3 has left Arcoflagellant's now fully dead. Crypto Thrall failed his charge even with a reroll. Poor guy. Spider, though, on the other hand, got a 9 for his charge. Pentagon Engine killed 4 warriors, but they all reanimated. And the warriors did nothing back. So with that in mind, it's now on to Imperium turn 3, and they are about to score some heavy points. So let's get this on. Okay, end of the Imperium movement phase, and pretty much everybody who could advance has advanced except for the assault intercessors on both sides here. Aggressors have stayed on place, controlling the objective and completing the action again. So we are on 26 points to 16, so we're 10 points ahead, and we'll be getting, if we stay in charge of that secondary central objective on our next command phase, we'll get another 18 points for completing the action. Yeah, the Repentia ran really well and are in a prime position to charge the death marks there. Seraphim have moved up to get in range of the crypto thralls and are going to charge them as well. Greyfax is getting a little bit closer to her Cryptek targets, and hopefully she might get in a fight with one of them by the end of next turn. So here we go then with Imperium's Psychic and Shooting phase. End of Imperium Psychic Shooting phase, and I finally get the Scourging off with Greyfax on the Scarabs. Not only that, I managed to roll 12 on 2d6 to beat their leadership test, so they are -1 to hit and also a -1 attack. So the one time I get it off, it's on a not so deadly unit. That's great. But the Assault Intercessors did put another wound on one of those bases of Scarabs from heavy bolt pistols. And pretty much everything else that shot was ineffective. So, oh, I did kill the last Crypto Thrall with an overcharged plasma pistol from the Seraphim Superior there, blowing his head right off. Bolt pistol failed to hit with both his shots. But they are ready to charge the Cryptek. They don't want to kill it because they want to allow Greyfax to kill it. So they might just hold him there as best they can. Moving on to charge phase then, so we've got the Repentia and the Repentia Mistress here, both going to go into the death marks there. And the Assault Intercessors will challenge the Scarabs over there. End of turn 3, rather not just Imperium's turn, the entire turn. And most of the fights are still pretty even. The Chronomancer fought back, killing 1 Seraphim with his staff. Death marks have killed a single Repentia. And thanks to the bases, the Scarabs over there being wiped out. 1 reanimated, but they are both now out of combat range. I mean, the Assault Intercessors are ripe targets for the Spider and those 2 remaining Scarabs. But with that, it's still anyone's game as we are going in to turn 4. End of the Necron movement phase, and not a lot happened really. The Spider and Scarabs flew over the buildings, putting them in a position to deny the Imperium, any extra bonus points. So, moving on to shooting phase. The only shooting we got is the Immortals at the Infiltrators, and the Spider will go at the Assault Intercessors before he charges in. So, shooting phase was pretty uneventful. We did kill another Infiltrator, and we have wounded the remaining Helix Adept. So, yeah, things aren't looking good for the Infiltrators again. We are now moving on to the charge phase, as that is all what's left to do for the Necrons. So yeah, the Spider didn't do much damage of its 12 shots. 5 went through, but 2 plus armor save because it's outside of cover and Intercessor's in cover. But he's going to charge in anyway and go munch munch kill kill. So here we go with charge and fight phase. Okay, end of Necron turn 4. The Seraphim Superior is fending off the Chronomancer's Tendrils and Aeon Stave. She managed to pass a 5-up armor save and a 2 3-up armor saves, so she's still alive. Repentia eliminated the death marks and advancing back towards the Scarabs there. The Penitent Engine finally fell to the Warriors. He failed just one of his 3 armor saves he needed to make, and he failed his 5-up ignore. So he crumbled and died. That's moved. So yeah, all what's left to do then for the Necrons is to move into Imperium turn 4. Greyfax is going to head towards the Cryptek, hopefully. And the Battle Sisters will try to follow along as best they can. The Repentia will probably lend their weight to a fight somewhere. But moving on to Imperium turn 4. End of Imperium movement phase. Greyfax is moving well ahead of the Battle Sisters and focusing herself mainly on that Cryptek over there. Repentia have moved up, ready to engage the Warriors on the objective. Battle Sisters are going to gun down the remainder of those Scarabs. Aggressors are staying firm, and the Assault Intercessors over here have moved up on top of the container and making a slow move towards enemy lines. So, yeah, aggressors have made another move on the action. We are now sitting at 34 points, and we're moving into the Psychic and Shooting phase. End of Imperium shooting phase, and well, the sisters did manage to eliminate all those Scarabs at least. Greyfax went berserk, tried to do scourging on that Cryptek, and backlashed, dealing herself 3 mortal wounds from perils. The Assault Intercessor Sergeant put another wound on the Spider with his plasma pistol. And that's about it. Onto the charge phase. So Greyfax is attempting to make a long charge at that Cryptek, and the Repentia and Mistress are going to charge into the Warriors there. So at least turn 5 we can deny the Necrons some points, while hopefully keeping some points for ourselves. So here we go with the charge phase. End of turn 4. Greyfax did not make her charge, so she's now kind of sat out in the open with that Spider staring her down. I had to use the Moment of Grace stratagem to save my Seraphim. She failed her armor save of a 3, but I discarded 2 miracle dice to bump it up to a 5. So, phew! Yeah, Repentia charged into the Necrons, and I've just realised I hadn't done their attacks back. So I'll do that quickly before the start of the Necron's turn. But they did kill 3, but 2 reanimated even. And even with their 5+ invuln, they managed to shrug off a few wounds. They didn't roll terribly too well, even with the Zealot rerolls, so not the best turn for the Repentia this turn. So, yeah, moving on then to Necron's 5th and final turn. So we've just had Necron turn 5 shooting phase. There wasn't much in the way of movement, so I didn't cover that, I'm afraid. I forgot that. All we did is the warriors moved out so everybody could see a little bit better. Shooting phase went horribly for the Imperium. So, starting with the Necron Immortals there, they shot at the Battle Sisters. I dropped a command point for Divine Guidance to... not Divine Guidance. Moment of Grace to change the one fail into a success for the armor save. I know that was a spider, sorry, no. Yeah, so I lost 4, to the Immortals, lost none to the spider, but then the warriors in front gunned the rest of the squad down. And sadly, poor Greyfax got blasted by the atomizer beam, reanimator beams from the reanimator. So she's not going to get her vengeance on the Cryptek, but the Imperium is going to win, as they are currently 4 points ahead, and we are going to get 8 points there for that. And really, not much point playing the remainder of the turn. I will play just for the fun of it, but yeah, it's going to be an Imperium victory. But here we go with the Necron fight phase, and there's not a lot to do really, so here we go. Okay, end of Necron turn 5, and I totally forgot that the Repentia denied those Necron warriors from scoring that objective. So they are in fact still on 24 as the Imperium have a 10-point lead. So yet again, I will say what I said before, it is going to be Imperium victory. I will continue playing because it's only the Imperium's turn to go. So the Canoness here got charged by the spider. He did 2 wounds and she did 1, putting him up to 2. Thanks to a moment of grace, again, the Seraphim Superior has survived the tendrils of the Chronomancer. And the Repentia Mistress is still alive against the warriors there, and she's just within range of the objective, so if they had tried to do it, they wouldn't be able to score it. But there's no command phase after this anyway, so they wouldn't be able to score it, so don't know why I rambled that. But yeah, here we go then with Imperium final turn. So I just quickly went through the Imperium turn. Movement, the aggressors moved out from behind the pipes. Shooting plasma pistols at melee units. I didn't do anything, sadly. And then charge phase was the aggressors into the spider, and they proceeded to pummel him to pieces. Canoness healed her 2 wounds I forgot in the command phase, thanks to her miraculous abilities. And it is an Imperium victory, though, luckily, with 42 points to 24. Yeah, I think it could have paid if I had brought the death marks down behind the aggressors after everything else had moved out of that particular corner. Because leaving them there to score points over and over was a bit foolish on the Necron's behalf. But all in all, it was a really good game. Nice, small, compact, and opened up a little bit of extra narrative ability for making a nice mission, really. So, yeah. So, looking forward to the next battle, it's going to be another big 75 power on the floor mission for issue 72, and we've got the Lich Guard to try out. I'm probably going to be bringing Calgar back into the fight, and yeah, it's going to be a big old brawl. So all what's left me to do is to say thank you all for watching. Again, if you think I deserve it, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you, and it helps the channel get noticed. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time for more mad content. Goodbye.